Alrighty guys, welcome back. This video I actually want to do something a little bit different, and so I have been testing a little bit more on my validation candles, and so I want to go back and potentially refine a few more variables that I see within them just to completely finalize the system. And then what we'll end up doing is creating one final, I guess we could call it a series of one final big back test that will encapsulate years and years of data. This will go all the way back from 2000s to potentially 1980s, even before. And so that way we can really ensure that we have the longevity aspect of our system kind of hammered down. And so what I'm going to do very briefly is, this part is actually going to be very brief, is going back and reviewing more recent price action on gold. Specifically, I was looking at an entry earlier today, somewhere around, was this today? 22nd? Yeah, entry here, and then nothing. So I want to kind of go back, seeing as this market has been pretty shite. There was another entry here, which I did take a loss on. No entry here. And so, yeah, I'm going to go back and review market analysis. Like, this would have been an entry. It's refining our validation candles. This would have been an potential entry. Not 100% sure. This could have been an entry. 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 Entry. And so now, as I put all these different entries of a not very responsive market, I guess we could say, not very good delivering price action, is, okay, what attributes do we see among all these trades that we could kind of eliminate? What variables, what third variable could we include in our analysis that would remove all these extra trades? Like, what's a filter we could just slap on this chart right now that would lead us astray from this? And so that's when one thing you could do is go look for new indicators, or, you know, whatever it might be. You can go do that and see whatever. And I don't like doing that. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is kind of just look at the price action itself. Look at the candles before. Okay, very small, very tight. Didn't move. Big candle, didn't move. Tight in a wiki on both ends. Didn't move, stopped out. So you can see how this can like really ruin your edge. And this is why I'm choosing to look at this. Because I was going to take an entry here on this price action today. And so, yeah, I just kind of want to refine the system quite a bit. Like, this would have been an entry. This actually would have been a really nice entry, probably a break even given this candle, or a potential winner. Stop loss would have been right here. So this will winner, probably a break even. Yeah. This looks like news to me. Yep, at 6:30. And then I did miss this entry this day. I was mad at that. It was in the afternoon, so I couldn't catch it. But yeah, this was a beautiful entry. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going to focus on today. If anything, we'll continue our back test, which I don't even know where we're at right now in our back test. I don't know what we're back testing. So we'll actually pay a lot more attention to this, and we'll leave trading view open to look at specific scenarios so we can refine our system. Good entry. Whoa, what's going on? There we go. Good entry, loss, good entry. So you can see how I've got my vision very refined on what I want to look for, right? And it's easy, you know, when you're going back in the chart, right? But good entry, probably break even. Good entry, probably break even, or a very small winner. Or break even, somewhat of a winner, nothing. Probably a break even there as well. Notice how all my system is pretty much break evens. Yeah, like wickiness, so probably a loss there. No entry here. Potential entry here. But yeah, so this is more what I want to focus on a little bit. That's kind of how I highlighted all those losses earlier. It's like, okay, well, what variables can we define in a region like this that will keep us out of entries like these where chop will continue? So one of my general rule of thumbs before is, here, let me get my pen, these wicks, these wicks, these wicks, these wicks. But as you saw in one of the more recent videos, I actually eliminated, what I ended up doing is cutting the eligibility of these wicks in half. And so what I mean by that is, it's almost like a sensitivity in my brain. Like if you want to think about it very scientifically, it's like you're reducing the sensitivity of the filter. Now, if these wicks are a little bit shorter, you'll be able to take trades in the given market condition, right? And so what ended up happening is I reduced the sensitivity of that specific variable within the data. And like, yeah, these wicks are tiny, and it led to a lot more entries, right? So this is actually very important, and it's kind of hard to phrase a little bit, but I'm making this video more for myself than for anyone else, because I know it's going to be very hard for some people to understand what I'm talking about here. But yeah, very clearly, if we just take a step back and look at this market from an objective standpoint, you're going to see very, very wicky market condition. You don't want to be involved in this. That's the simple talk, right? Now you dive in a little deeper and it's like, okay, it's the wicks. But then you dive into this next entry and you say, well, there's no big wicks. Like, what's the problem, right? Like, that's not really part of the analysis we're doing here with these giant wicks. But it kind of is in a way. And it just doesn't have to relate specifically to larger wicks, but rather the wickiness of both directions. And so you can create some sort of objective rule that if more than 10% of the move is within the wick, then XYZ. You don't take it. You do take it. You know? And so you can create rules like that, or you can look at the last 10 candles. Let's go last 10 candles, and then you can look at the average movement and say, oh, is it greater than the ATR? Then I am going to take it. Just rules like that, right? But I don't want to do that, right? So what I'm actually going to end up doing is continuing to pay a little bit more attention to this as we continue to do our tests. And yeah, I'll definitely keep this particular price action in mind, the small wicks that will still ruin you, right? They're tiny wicks. They don't look bad, right? But these are alluding to something a lot greater that we can't see. And this is at a decent time. This is a few hours before Asia opened. So, there shouldn't be a reason. And I'm going to pull up one final example to kind of prove this point. Okay. Valid entry right over this side. It didn't get validated, but I think it's still a very good example. Like, ignore this price action. We already have this. Like, we already know that we're not trading price action like this. But wick, 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 wick. You take an entry here. Suppose we accidentally got tapped in, loss, right? Versus here, your very, very next entry is going to be here. Wicks aren't bad. It's not chopping back and forth. It's not tiny candles. And I've definitely talked about this kind of price action before, but it hasn't really hit my analysis kind of section quite yet. I haven't run into issues with this until more recently. When you look at gold, the way it's been delivering, it hasn't been the crazy wicks. It's been the very small wicks back and forth. Those are the ones that will also mess you up. And so here, wick, wick, wick. They're tiny wicks, but look at how indecisive the market is. You can call it e-liquid, we're not going anywhere. And then you get your first potential entry over this high, and this one actually ends up running. But notice the difference. We went from a very e-liquid market to an hour of liquid market before our entry, right? It got very clean. Now we step back up to here. I want to get my little arrows again. Wick, 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 wick. Even if the candle right here were big, I think one of my rules is going to be don't take it. And then you wait for it to clear up. This would be your first potential entry right here. Probably a loss, yep. And then you get your secondary entry here, probably a win, and a third entry here. And so notice the price action difference. Wick, small, giant, big moves, right? And so it's part of that patience framework that we're working to build. And so I want to go to one final example to really, really nail this down, to show you guys what I mean. Okay, so we've already covered this kind of price action. Wicks, wicks, wicks. Don't trade any of this. Even if we're given a very, very nice entry, Even up here, like maybe I'd take one, but down here, absolutely never. Okay. Now let's step down lower into this market, right? As we're looking at this delivery right here, nothing to take, nothing to take. This would be your first potential entry, but why not? It's a lot less about the wicks, but rather the specific candle itself. Like I'm not solely looking at wicks. I'm looking at size of candles. Look at how tiny it is. And then look at this. This is the first strength candle that comes into the market. Previously, one of my rules was if it's the first strength candle, I'll take it. But I found out that personally, I just end up taking an extra loss for absolutely no reason. Kind of feels down. There would have been a potential entry here, which would have been okay. And then I'm going to slowly play it forward to see if we get a new entry. Oh, my bad. And a potential new entry over this high, depending on where we close. Okay, yep. And probably break even if you set your low like right there, or a new potential entry right over this high right here. And notice the price difference. Weak, not going anywhere. Strength builds up. You can see the strength come in, build in, entry, and we go, hopefully, or fail down. I bet this was news at 6:30. It was. So yeah, I know it's a lot for you guys. I know it's like, oh my gosh, every day 5 hours worth of content out, but I think it's important. It's really going to expedite your learning process here. And so once again, small wick, or not even wick, candle, tiny candle, potential entry over this high, no, this is rollover, so no entry at all. Tiny, and so now I think the variable that I kind of have to refine, that I've been hinting at, is how far after these small candles should we begin looking at the market. And so if you would have looked at this particular candle, probably a break even here, and then nothing, maybe an entry here. It's actually about to be a rollover, so no entries, and then fails back down, so nothing to do there. Okay, and so yeah, you just kind of have to go back into the market once again. Weak. Why did I choose that? My bad. Weak. Strength does come in. So potential entry over this high doesn't get validated. Potential entry over this high. Probably get a nice entry in here. And then your next entry is going to be over this high. Probably break even or a loss. And entry right here, break even or a loss. And then news, whatever that might have been. Okay. And this is where it kind of gets good. We already defined we're not trading in a market condition like this for very obvious reasons. Nothing. Potential entry over this high. Nothing, because the moment this fails down, I'd be waiting for this candle to become a new validation candle, and then we fail back down. And so the very first entry you're going to get after this whatever range bound market is going to be this one. And if we look at the candles, weak, strength. And so maybe 2 strength candles after the weakness of the market, which is 40 minutes worth of candles, just particularly on your personal validation. And so, yeah, like looking at one more example. I know I say one more every time, but I think it's very important. Weak, like weakness, just weak overall. All this is weak. First strength candle comes in, fails back down. Nothing. Strength candle comes in, secondary strength candle comes in, that's your entry. Notice how powerful that is, because otherwise I would have taken a loss here. So this is actually hopefully going to refine the edge a lot, like significantly. And so now what we're going to do is go back into a backtest, go into our beautiful FX replay, and what we'll do is we have a Euro USD. I don't know where I left off on this, so we'll actually go take a look. We were in July 12th. Yeah, we got plenty of data left. So actually, I'm just going to continue this backtest. Load up the equity curve before and after, just so we see what kind of progress we're making on it. And yeah, just continue. I think this was part of a time lapse I did, so it's actually going to be a very nice continuation from that backtest that we were doing. That time lapse backtest, but yeah, this is gonna be very awesome. And yeah, let's get it. Okay, so let me pause real quick and then I will be right back. Hang on. Alrighty, guys, I am back. It has been a day since I left off, so we'll just see. I believe we were going to continue the Euro USD backtest just to refine a little bit more on the 20-minute validations is what we were working on. And so I want to go back and just refine this a little bit. We already know what we were looking at, so let's go back. We got the 4-hour, daily, just to overall top down, we're aiming for these highs up here. So just overall, general, up, up, hourly. Hourly is failing, so if anything, I'm gonna wait for the 20-minute to shape back up. Nothing much, nothing much. Market is just kind of falling here, so I'm gonna wait for money to come in on the long side like that. 4-hour supporting, hourly supporting, 20-minute. Now I want to see some sideways, or this could be a potential validation candle. We are coming up on red news, so okay, yeah, yes, yes. Potential buy stop over this high, depending on where we close. Yeah. 4-hour good, hourly, hourly is a little bit low in the range, but still supporting 20-minute. Whoa, what is this market? So your entry would have been right here. It's a long, yeah. With your low, it might be too far from ATR. We'll actually go take a peek at that real quick. I was waiting for the 20-minute candle to close, and so the moment we closed right here, this is a validation in and of itself. We're 4 hours away from red news. ATR is 27. Yeah, no, this is actually kind of perfect. So what I'll do is set this up for the next candle. Yep. So this is what it would look like on the live market if you were to set up the trade live. Hourly, yep, 20-minute. Yeah, buy stop over this high, and then 5-minute, just waiting for that strength to come in. And notice how even the 5-minute is just shit price action, but I'm not taking that into consideration. My testing has proven to me that the wickiness on the 5-minute is going to have such low influence that generally, if this level is going to be supported, the wickiness or like the volatility in the market is actually going to act in our favor. Now I have to look at the time. It's 2:20 in the morning. There's plenty of volume actually in this market. If we're looking at this particular candle, 272 contracts, 6,000 last 20 minutes. So 6,000 contracts. I trade an average contracts or average position of 15 contracts. And so, yeah, I mean, this is more than reasonable for me. I'm probably going to wick around as we saw earlier. Waiting for a break even or a stop out. That's okay. Going to wait for a new 20-minute validation. Our entry, we have another entry here. Coming up on red news, it is getting a little bit questionable on the 20. So you get one more potential entry right over this high. Let's go look. I'm going to take one more loss here. Looking at red news being 3 hours away. Seeing if we get any sort of position here. Nope. Just too wicky. Once that wick is created, I am out of this market. Now we're getting another validation. So I'm going to wait for this candle to close to see if it's valid. Nope. And we're done. A new potential entry over this high, but we are coming in too close to red news. 2 hours and 20. Potential entry buy stop and fails back down. So now we're just going to wait for red news to play out. Way too close to red news. Market just falls off. There we go. Money comes back in. Hourly money comes back in. There was an entry over this high. Missed it. That's okay. Gonna wait for a new entry to set up. Bingo. Entry buy stop over this high, depending on where the next candle, kind of how the next candle behaves. But let's see if it's a valid buy stop. It technically is, but I'm going to wait for, because we did come back, going to wait for new validation. And notice how by just waiting like that, saved us. And now hopefully we set up again. We're coming on, oh, and by the way, this time was really close to rollover, so I would have waited. This is too close, so I'm going to give it another validation candle. This is a potential entry right here. I'm going to go take a peek. 4 hour good, hourly okay, 20-minute, okay, 5-minute. Yeah, so I'd set up a potential buy stop right over these highs. See if we get anything. Looks like we might. Something like this, low. We're looking at an ATR of about 14, so I could tighten this up a little bit. Yeah, this is okay. Falls back down. Let's see if it's still valid. So the thing that happened here is we're actually creating a new validation candle, kind of like back here where we came back, had a validation, potential entry over this high, came back, gave us another validation. This is your secondary entry right here. Oh. Let me make sure the mic and everything are still connected. Good. Okay. So yeah, so this is going to be your secondary entry at 8 p.m. my time, which is a very liquid semi-liquid. It's between close of New York and Asia open. So this is when I noticed money will at some point start coming in. And so looking at the 20-minute, once again, we're going to look at the wickiness and the candle size. One thing we saw that we were testing earlier in the recording was the size of these wicks. This was the first strength candle that came into the market. You don't want to take that. Generally, you want to wait till the second strength candle. What didn't form right here? No strength came into this market. And so it failed back down. First strength candle, second strength candle, getting in on the third. 4-hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute. Yeah. So you're looking at an ATR of about 16. And we're looking at this actually quite big. So we could tighten this down to about half, something like that, 14, 15. And I want to place it just a little bit higher, 20, just so we don't get wicked in, 5. We do get tapped in, probably going to take a break even, or a loss even. Yep, take another loss. Why am I not phased by this? Because I know it's part of the process. 20-minute, going to wait for new validation. New validation forms. We are getting a little bit wicky. I'm not a big fan of this wick right here, but this again is starting to become a very, very clean market. We had our anticipation of continuation longs. Money came back in. 4-hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Yep, 5-minute. Yeah, so I'd take another long right over these highs. And this is probably going to be the last loss I take here before I kind of call it quits. Waiting for strength to come in, see if this is valid. It's still a valid entry. It's a little bit high. So if anything, I'm going to tighten up my entry just a little bit, something like that. Yeah. Hopefully it fails back down so we don't even get an entry. Good. 20. Gonna wait for some more sideways. It seems like we're coming in for another validation. Phenomenal. Hopefully we close. Nope, we don't close there. Getting very, very wicky. So I just don't trade price action like this. Gonna wait for money to do. Oh, yes, this candle right here. What time is it? I'm gonna make sure this isn't red news though. We're looking at, what day is this? I have to verify the date real quick. July 17th. So my FX book, go back. Come on. July 17th. It's like 2 in the morning, so I doubt there'll be red news. Red news at 6:30, and currently it is 2:20. Yeah, so we got like 4 hours until red news. 4-hour is very, very clean. Like notice how our anticipation all along were these highs and these highs up here on the daily. Or not the daily, was it the 4-hour? Yeah, the 4-hour highs that we were just anticipating to take these out. So yeah, I mean, our analysis was correct. We just weren't able to get positioned. And so as the market played out, this could have been an entry. I don't think it was at the time. We're going to go take a peek at it. Yeah, this wasn't a valid entry. So we're going to wait until this closed. This is our valid entry. 4-hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute good. No red news. Long over this high, stepping down to the 1 minute so I don't get. So usually with entries like these, I'll generally choose a 1 ATR, half to 1. Generally 3/4 is very good, safe. So something like this, and then I'm going to wait for the next candle to open, and that's where my low will be. So the moment this next candle opens here, pushes down, and then pushes us back in, this low is created on the 1 minute. That's where I set up my buy stop. And it's variable, it'll change depending on the candle, price delivery on many, many different factors. But step up to 1 minute. Hopefully we at least get a break even. Move to break even. Hopefully we get a nice little runner. Nothing to manage to yet. The only thing I could manage to could potentially be 70% of my position to this line. Hopefully we, nope, get taken out at 70%. And that will allow us to leave a little bit running. And if not, if anything, I'll step back up to 5 minute or 20 minute. Okay, and yeah, we get taken out at break. Oh, wait. Technically, did we get taken out? Oh, come on. Ooh. Okay, so my rule with brokers especially is price has to cross. So technically I didn't get taken out, but I don't want to seem to make it out to be like I'm changing the rules. Like this has always been my rule. Either way, I want to see if it would have been a break even. Yeah, it would have been a break even regardless. My other remaining amount of the position, yeah, I think I managed well. I don't think that's absurd at all. Hourly, good 20 minute, waiting for money to come back in. There was another potential entry in here. It would have been a break even. We went and then came back. And what time was it? 7:20. So we're still, it's getting a little late in the market. This is a potential entry at 12. No, it's too late for me. So it's probably going to just wick around now. Yep. And then come around 1800, we're going to get a new setup. Hopefully, depending on how the market wants to. Okay, looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour good. Hourly is a little bit low in the range. Could start to support the move. Looking at the 20 minute. I love the strength on the 20 minute. But look at this. Remember what we were talking about. Wick, wick, wick. Bad market, bad market, bad market, bad market, bad market, bad market. First strength candle. More likely than not, gonna fizzle out and then give us another entry. And that's actually what I'm working on refining, right? So we're gonna give it another candle. Boom. And then it falls off. Okay, lining up perfectly. I mean, you're seeing money coming into this market. It's a little wicky, so I'm not trading any of this. But yeah, notice how it just stayed out of a loss right here because of that. Or even like right here and potentially right here, given both of the rules, the wickiness rule and like the small candle rule. I'm gonna have to create names for these because it might confuse some of you guys, but yeah, 4 hour just starts failing. If anything, you could start scalping sells here. I'm actually going to modify the settings on this. Give me just 1 second. Going to grade out, and then what else can I change on it? I want it to be an arrow. There we go. Perfect. That way I can, that way I can more clearly explain. But yeah, money is falling off. Hourly, good, 20 minute. So now we can scalp sells. But this market might reverse now, so. Okay, nothing to do quite yet. It's 8 in the morning, potentially red news. I don't think so. But yeah, notice how the rule played out again. Wick, 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 bad market, bad market, bad market. First strength candle. Usually I'd look to take a buy stop over this high, but why wouldn't I? Because of that same rule, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Wick, 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 strength. This could have been a really nice winner. I'm looking for another example. Yeah, like this. Weak, 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 weak. Entry over this high. If you would have taken this entry, you would have taken losses. And so, looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour is starting to support the move again. So we might be ready for a reversal here. But stepping back up to 20. My bad. Gonna wait for money to come back in. Okay, and this might be a potential entry depending on where the next candle opens. Looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour, couple things can happen. This market goes this way and I don't touch it for a little bit, or this market falls off and I get an entry. So let's try to see what happens here. 4 hour hourly is good for sells. 20 minute is good for sells. This is a very good entry right here. I'll take one loss here and then call it good. because we probably are going to get tapped in on this move. So we'll take one loss here and then stay out of the market. Yep. Whoa. Watch it go now, right over this high. I'm going to laugh if it does. Okay, good. Another entry right over this high. What time is it? Oh, wait, I shouldn't even have taken this trade. Sorry. It's past 11, so wouldn't have taken that trade. I need to pay a little bit more attention to the time, but yeah, this is 12:20. Absolutely shouldn't have taken that trade. And that's why, because you'll get in and taken out right away. So I'm going to wait till 1800. There we go. Looks like money might start coming in on the long side again for something more like this. So if anything, I'm going to step down to the hourly and wait for money to come back in. Or just complete failure. It seems like we're actually going to continue down, which is cool, because that gives us some very nice opportunity to get in. So very wicky market, not touching this. Gonna wait for money to show us what it wants to do. I want to see it go this way where my cursor is at. First entry would have been right here, but I'm not taking it given the wickiness. And there you go. Secondary entry right over this high. Kind of like this one. It is quite a wicky market. Look at the 4 hour. Yeah, hourly 20. Yeah, this is okay of an entry. It's quite a wicky market. Looking at 8 in the morning, so definitely money coming in. I'll consider one sell, aka long, over this high. Good. Fail back down. Maybe we'll get a cleaner 20-minute validation. Yeah. And this market just needs time to show us what it wants to do. Looking at the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour also needs time. So if anything, I'm going to wait for... Now it looks like money might start coming in this direction, hopefully. Yes. Okay. So if anything, jump down to the 20 and look for any new validations to the long side. Falls back down, so nothing to do. Market just needs time at this point. A couple things can happen. Money comes back in. Now we're just chopping on the 4 hour. So if anything, I'm going to give it one more hour, and hopefully we continue this downtrend so we can get in on that. Yeah, something more like that. Good, good. Oh, I missed my entry. This would have been a phenomenal entry. Guys, you saw that. Okay, gonna wait for a new entry. New entry right over these highs. Looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour still failing down hourly. Good, 20-minute, good, 5-minute. Looking at the time though, sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, looking at the time, we're looking at 5 in the morning on a 20-minute candle buy stop over these highs. So if anything, I'll set up a sell stop, Sell stop right over these highs, low. We might get taken out here. Just given the strength of this move, we might see a little retracement and then buy stop in. But looking at an entry like this, I'll just set it up how I had it. Probably another loss, nothing bad. 20-minute, gonna wait for a new validation. Entry, it is slightly wicky, so I'm just gonna skip out on it. It's probably gonna run. Cool, new entry right over this high. What time is it? 8:20, so 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute long over, or sell over this high. Something like this. Let's see if we even get tapped in. Yep. ATR of about 3.1, so we'll do like something like this. Hopefully the price reverses and doesn't tap us in, but it did both at the same time. So now 20-minute, it's probably going to go now. Nope. Good. Gives us another opportunity to get positioned in on this market. What time was this? 8? Yeah. So I'm just going to wait till 1800. Hopefully money starts coming in right about now. Yeah. No very clear entries here. The only one I see is this, and I don't want to take it given the lack of strength within these candles. So now, yes. Y'all see that? These aren't small candles, right? They're wicky, but they're not wicky beyond the bounds of this candle. So that's kind of what I use. Like an entry here, no. But an entry here, yes. These candles do not absorb any of these highs or lows. Sorry, these candles do absorb the highs and lows of this. This candle displays clear strength after clear strength has already been proven in the market. And so this is a valid entry for me. Looking at the 4 hour, good, hourly, good, 20 minute, yeah. Probably gonna take another loss, nothing new here, but 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute good, 5 minute long. Looking at a high, a sell right here. ATR is about 0.16. So we could do 10, there we go. So we do about 60% ATR. Usually I used to do a lot tighter entries, but I've been working on opening them up just a little bit. So it allows me that extra bound of error, just in case price wants to wick for whatever reason. Probably gonna take me out break even, nothing new. Cool, 20 minute. Gonna wait for a new build up. Okay, look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is still good. Hourly is still failing a little bit. So if anything, wait for another 20 minute validation. 1, 2. Okay, I believe this could be red news on July 24th. I'm gonna go check it out. July 24th. Red news at 6:30 and at 8. So very heavy red news day. Seems like there isn't any red news. So this is a valid entry right over this high. Yeah. I'll see if we get anything. I'm going to place it just a little bit higher. Sorry, a sell stop. I'm going to place my entry just a little bit higher to prevent us taking a random loss. Okay, looking at an ATR of about 0.36. So I could tighten this up a little bit. Something just about like that. Get tapped in, probably tapped out right away. Getting ready to break even on this move. I don't think we break even yet. We actually do break even on this move. So I'm gonna wait for money. Okay, this was a fucking break even move. I just played it one candle too fast, so. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a new validation. Hopefully money starts coming in. We do have red news, so we're probably gonna stay out this entire day. So I'll just play it through. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got the 4 hour, 4 hour good, hourly. Actually, how is the 4 hour? 4 hour money could actually start coming in the opposite direction right about now. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. Yeah, okay. Actually, we are a little bit low in the hourly range. We're kind of at like this point in the market. Not exactly, but we had a very strong push. Now we're undergoing this, whatever. But my anticipation is this move is going to start right about here. So maybe, maybe not. 4 hour good, hourly good. Hourly is still a little bit low in the range. I'm going to take one entry and then call it good. Actually, because it is past 11, I'm not going to take anything, but this would have been my entry. Phenomenal. Gonna wait till 1800. There we go. Waiting for money to come in. Phenomenal. Okay, buy stop over these highs. It seems like nothing set up though. Phenomenal. There, that's your entry. Give it just one quick second. Looking at the 4 hour. 4 hour good. Here, let me clear it up for you guys. Couple of really good entries here. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20 minute good. Yep. 5-minute long over this high. And notice how the 5-minute chop ain't, like, I just simply don't care about it because I know my ATR is generally going to account for that variability. So ATR stop is about 22. So we could tighten this up till about 18. And I just kind of guesstimate. Cool, get tapped in. Move to break even here relatively quick given the strength in this market. I do want to probably a break even again. Nothing new, guys. Okay, 20-minute kind of sideways and just fall off. So hourly, don't really want to touch this market anymore. If anything, hourly strength is coming back in. We're still continuing. So maybe step down to the 20, but it's just a shit market condition. So looking at the 4-hour, 4-hour is now starting to fail down a little bit. I probably don't want to touch this market as, once again, this could be the continuation forward, right? So hourly, yeah, we're at like a stalemate right here where we don't know what the market's going to do. I could try to take sells here, and it will probably work. So I'm going to give it a shot. The fact that we are still supporting the move, hourly good. Yeah, we could see a very nice move. Ooh, what time is it? Ah, it's rollover. Yeah, this rollover will help us waste a little bit of time until 1800. Okay, and it seems like, yeah, money on the 4-hour might start coming in. There you go. So it seems like 4-hour, we might start continuing to take out these highs all the way up here. Kind of how we were targeting these highs when we were down here. Now we're targeting these highs. So 4-hour good. A little bit weak in market. You could wait for the market to prove itself, but given my experience, I think it is good. What time was this? 19? Yeah, so this is going to be your very, very first entry right into this market. Look at the 4-hour. 4-hour, actually, no. I'm not going to take this. I'm going to wait for hourly to prove itself again. Look at the 4-hour. Still a little bit low in the range. It is starting to prove itself, so maybe step down now. Yeah, and just how we got back here, we got another entry. We got the 4-hour. Man, this 4-hour is still a little low in the range. Hourly is good. 20-minute is good. What time is it? Yeah, so I'll take a entry. It's going to be a long this time. A long, right over that high, yeah. And then SL is going to be around 0.14 ATR. So we could tighten it up to like 0.1, something like that. Probably going to take another loss, nothing new. Phenomenal. And yeah. So if anything, wait for a new 20-minute validation. Fills back down. Yeah, this hourly and 4-hour are kind of shit. So now I'm just kind of waiting for money to come in. 4-hour still supporting the move, hourly supporting the move, 20-minute. Okay, we could see potential entries going forward. Red news or whatever that might have been. Okay, wait for the market to continue chopping. 4-hour starting to support the move a little bit more, but still not a whole lot. There we go. 4-hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Wait for 20-minute entries here. Kind of what I want to see is an expansion to the upside. And if it doesn't happen, then you're just staying out of the market and life is good. I've taken several losses and lo and behold, we actually failed back down. So now looking at the 20-minute. Potential entry, nope, nothing to do, nothing to do, nothing to do. Market just falls off. What time is it? 10. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait until 1800 again. Just going through one of those dry patches in your equity curve where it's just losses and break evens. So once again, looking back at the rule that we're currently testing, weak, 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 fuck off. Okay, sorry about that. weak, 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 weak. First strength candle, secondary strength candle. Depending on where we open next, I could consider taking a long right over this high. I want to see where we're going to open. Yeah, it's not bad actually. I do like the strength that came into this market. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good, 5-minute long, or sell in this case. 20, 5, 1. It's not too bad. I'd consider some sort of entry, something like that. Let's see. Where was this low? 18. It's a little bit big of a low. The only refinement I could see myself making is this low. Let's go take a peek. Yeah, we're probably going to take a loss here anyway, so might as well take it. Take it like a man, you know? Okay, cool. We take our loss. I don't know why it hasn't stopped me out. There we go. 20. Yeah, so we'll just wait for a new entry. What time was this? Technically, I shouldn't have taken that, but that's okay. I like to add my variability into my data. So now at this point in the market, we're a little indecisive. Going to wait for hourly money to come back in. Looking at the 20-minute, going to wait for an invalidation. God damn, this market's just fucking awful. Okay. Gonna wait for a 20-minute to give us a new entry validation. Probably not a market I want to be touching for a little bit. Yeah, if anything, I'm just going to wait for money to start coming in. There we go. Money comes in. So notice how at each of these points, my anticipation was this. I was falling longs here. I was falling shorts here, longs here, longs here. Shorts, didn't get anything, or maybe a loss in here, and then longs. Like my overall anticipation is longs, and because I am trading such a low time frame, sometimes I can get a very, very nice scalp down into the lows. So waiting for the 20-minute to line up, give us something nice. Hourly fails back down. Why am I not surprised? So looking at the 4-hour failure, and once again, scalping for sells. Very, very indecisive market. Probably if you're managing a lot of capital, it'd be smarter to stay away from a market like this. Okay. First potential entry, looking at the 4-hour. So I don't like the fact that we're too close to, yeah, I'm going to give it one more hourly candle, but this is probably a very, very clean entry and it's just going to shoot down. The one entry I don't take. Yeah. So this would have been your entry right over this high. That would have been a very big stop loss though. 33, no, that actually would have been a very good stop loss. So unfortunately I missed it, but just part of the game. I'm going to replay, nah, it's whatever. I was going to say replay to see what it looked like, but it's okay. More entries to come, you know. Waiting for this candle to close, potential entry over this high. Looking at the 4-hour is actually looking very clean. Hourly is like wiki, but still we know where money plans to go. Yeah, so 5-minute sells right over these high. Looking at a 0.38 stop. It's not bad. I'm probably going to make it just slightly bigger to cover a little bit more of my risk. Get tapped in, nothing to do. Probably get taken out by a wick. Nothing new. I'll wait for a new 20-minute validation. I want to see what this looks like. Kind of speed running this back test. I got a lot of stuff I need to take care of, so 4 hour good, hourly is good, 20-minute. This is okay of an entry. I don't like how low to the range we are, how we haven't expanded from anything. So I'm just gonna let it play forward. There we go. And then now, what time is it? Nah, gotta wait till 1800. But hopefully now money starts coming in right about now. Money did come in, but to the opposite side. Yeah, and I'm not, whoa, what the fuck? Okay, well, our analysis did play out correctly. I'm gonna replay this so I can look at the hourly, see how it played out on the hourly. I think on the 4 hour, nope. One more hourly, nope. Okay, notice how this setup right here is different than all these. Money failed to come in, continued lower. Money failed to come in, continued lower. Money failed to come in, it almost did, failed lower. What's the difference here? Right? Money did come in and it did push higher. So very, very cool. Now that changes our entire market dynamic. This is my overall goal. Right at that very point that I just highlighted. So 20-minute, nothing to do. This would have been a clean entry. 20. Okay, red news, whatever. Wait for a new validation coming in at 10 p.m. Ooh, this might be a very clean entry before 11. Hopefully. Okay, no, gotta wait till rollover. 1800. Hopefully money comes in, builds something beautifully. 1900. Gonna wait for another couple candles. Okay, this is a potential entry right over these highs. It's a little weak. Yeah, there's no entry here for me. Hopefully this isn't red news. August 5th. We're gonna go take a peek at August 5th. Red news at 8, and it is 1 in the morning, so we're good. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Yeah, so on your 5-minute, your only entry is gonna be right over this high with the low right about here. 8.5. Yeah, this is an okay entry. I'm gonna set up a limit. Probably gonna get wicked the fuck out. Wasn't red news, but it's still valid for me, so. I could actually see this going sideways and then setting up again, but that's okay. Still follows my rules, so worth taking for data collection. Guess I didn't get tapped in. Yep, set up a nice buy stop. Goes, move to break even, probably gonna get stopped out. Absolutely nothing new here. Beautiful. 20-minute. I'll wait for, yeah, that new entry that I was talking about. Luckily, we were able to break even on that last one, though. Depending on where we open next, this could be a potential entry. So I'm going to wait for the next candle open. No. It's one of those like very, very spread out anticipatory validation candles. And so I don't really like that. So I'm going to wait for a new validation. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Looking at 5:40 in the morning. Got news in 2.5 hours. But what do we see here? Weak, 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 weak. First strength candle. What do you think this market's going to do? I'd be surprised if it shoots up. But more than less, I want to see this, and then build up. If it's going to shoot up, right? Let's see. Hey, and we were wrong. Beautiful. It's one of those times where I'm uncertain and I prefer to stay out, and some people make money, hopefully for the right reasons, but I'm gonna wait till after red news, so an hour, good, wait for money to come back in. Seems like this trade right here would have partial, maybe 70%, depending on your management. But yeah, falls off. Gonna wait till money comes back in on the at 1800-ish. Cool. Looking at the 4 hour, good. Hourly is a little bit weak. But yeah, notice how this isn't a weak market or like malnourished. Strength, 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 strength. That's the difference between those very tiny candles and no wicks, right? So I'm gonna set up a, what was it, long? ATR stop, we're looking at 0.34. So I'm gonna wait for the next candle to open up, yep. And we fell back down, so probably getting a new validation here. Ooh, this might be good. Coming in on Asia, so money comes in, hopefully not to that side. We got the 4 hour. 4 hours starts to fail, so I'm gonna wait for hourly money to come in. 4 hours somewhat supporting the move, hourly money coming in, 20-minute. Yeah, so looking for a 20-minute validation entry buy stop for a long. Very weak. There was a potential setup over this high, but it didn't validate or anything, so. Coming in on 1800 again, so hopefully we see money come in, and once again, it's to the wrong side. So we're gonna wait for hourly money to come back in. A little low in the range. Good entry right over this high. Not taking it though, for a couple reasons. Number one, the wickiness, but to each their own. Everyone has their own systems, and so potential entry over this high, but given that we're so close, we're probably going to create a new validation candle off of this one. And beautiful how we just stay out. New potential entry. It's a little bit wicky of a market, so I'm not going to touch this, but some people might take some longs over this high. This is a very clean entry, but red news coming up and very wicky, so gotta wait 1 hour after red news. Cool. This was a cool entry, but this is gonna be your other entry at 2300. Looking at the 4 hour, 4 hour long is actually coming in very nice hourly. Yeah, it's a little bit questionable. No, clearly strength has proven. Strength, especially on the 20-minute validation. However, it's this wick that's kind of throwing me off a little bit, these couple small wicks. But I think it's still something I would take. One thing that you guys can do as like your own exercise is pay attention to what happens when volume comes in. Giant candle comes in, what happens? Wick, taken out. Giant volume comes in, wick, taken out. Volume comes in, wick, taken out, maybe, maybe not. My personal experience is telling me to buy it. So part of my system, I don't have a rule against anything that I just talked about, but maybe something that people might want to consider. Okay, we're looking at a low of 0.13. This is actually a very nice low. I'm gonna open it just a little bit to allow that buffer. We got the 4 hour again. Hourly, 20. Yeah, it's just weak. Very, very weak, but we could get something out of it. Hey, and there we go. One mover. Probably gonna stop us out, as we know, but that's okay. Let's see if I would have managed it. No management. So waiting for a new 20-minute validation. It's okay. Not a big fan of the wickiness. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute. Yeah, there's another valid buy stop right over this high. Wickiness isn't too bad, so I'll consider one more buy stop over this high. What time is it? 1 in the morning. Good. Asia. Lots of money in the market. Cool. Buy stop, something like that. Don't get buy stopped in yet. Waiting for money to come in. We fail back down. Cool. Giving us more opportunities to kind of reanalyze this market. Cool. Depending on where we close. So we close up here. There might be a setup, fails back down. Nothing to do. 4 hour. Market fails back down. So if anything, yep. Yo, whoa. Yeah. So once again, we're at this high right now. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capitalize on here. There's a clean entry that I didn't take just because I missed it, and I want to be fair with everyone and myself. But yeah, very clean entry in here. Went without us. And then we are in this market condition right now. So notice how price right here tried to push above higher, try to push above higher, fail down, fail down. This is where I could potentially capitalize on some sells. Because I'm on such a high time frame, I have no problem doing so. So 20-minute. Gonna wait for new validation. Market's just very weak. Looking at the 4 hour again, looks like money is very, very indecisive. We're kind of at like this point again, where we still don't know what direction we want to take. And so if anything, I will step down to the hourly and try to see what this market wants to do. Very, very indecisive market. Probably don't want to trade during moments like these. Looks like money is wanting to come in though. Looking at the 4 hour. Wow, hella wiki. Okay. Jump down to the 20. This is really, really testing the system. Potential entry over this high. What time is it? Yeah, it's past the time, but some people might trade it. Some people might not. Gonna wait until 1800 again. Wait for money to come in. Cool, money's coming in very poorly. That's your potential first entry. Like, yeah, I just don't like this kind of price action. You can just see it. Previously in my other systems, I would have ignored it. But as you get more and more experienced, you begin to just filter out all this fluff and looking at like the raw price action, if that makes sense. Like the price delivery won't confuse you, right? And so the more and more you mess with markets, you kind of learn to know what point in the market you're in, what point you're in the market, what point we're in this point, or this point, or this point where the market's very indecisive. You can wait for the 4 hour to start to prove itself. So cool. I'm going to have to head out here, guys, but I will pause and then resume here in a little bit. But yeah, this is not a half bad entry. It is 2200. Gonna wait for a better entry. It's just this market's shit. Coming on red news. Hopefully this red news actually corrects us. But yeah, strong money coming in. I just need to see this high get taken out right away. 4 hour good, hourly good, 20-minute good. Ooh. Oh, it was red news though. I was going to say this was a clean entry. So waiting for red news to kind of fizzle out and then potential entry right over this high. See if we get anything. Looks like we might. ATR is 30, so we could do something like 23. Yeah, it's a little bit late of an entry on the 20-minute. Actually, no, it's not bad. Get tapped in, probably tapped out right away, nothing new. And lo and behold, we get a nice little runner here. Probably a break even. Maybe manage 70% to somewhere around here, maybe a little bit lower. Whoa, my bad. Trying to move this management thing. Hopefully we survive this. Otherwise we do partial 70%. And that, guys, is one good trade out of probably like 10 that we've taken so far. 70% being managed to here. Man, I wish I would have loaded up the equity curve before and after so you guys can see the real drawdown that we went through. Probably like 5-6 trades of drawdown before we get one good runner, just to give you guys an idea. So very, very good sauce in here, guys. It just kind of goes to show, like, loss after loss, don't let it impact you. Stick to your system, and this one winner is going to make up for all those losses I just took and more. So just going to wait 2. Okay, give me just 1 second. Sorry, I do have to run, so I just want to get taken out at this point. So I'm going to manage a little bit more aggressively. This trade just don't want to stop. This trade just don't want to stop. Okay, hopefully we can take our 70% partial here. Oh, come on. Gonna speed it up a little bit. Okay, gonna manage to right about here. Cool, take my 70% partial. And then leave the 20-minute remaining to manage. 20-minute, I actually should have managed to this though, my bad. But I'm gonna pretend like life happens. And sometimes you just gotta go manage a little bit more aggressively for my 20, so it kind of makes up for where I should have managed. And 20-minute, you get taken out, hopefully. Bingo. So nice little trade here. If we go back and just reanalyze where we actually took it, our anticipation all along at this point was this, at this point was this, at this point was this, and we finally caught it. The importance of knowing where you are in the market. Otherwise, you're just going to get so confused. Like, if you were to just jump on any time frame and you look at this, you're going to be like, where the fuck is the market going? Like, illiquid, whatever. But no, it's actually very clean, and I know where we're at most points. Like, sometimes I'll look at it and just be like, okay, we got to stop. But yeah, 20-minute, just textbook entry right here. Did get taken out. It is what it is. And we're going to go take a peek at the equity curve really quickly just to see how that trade impacted our equity curve. And there you go. Loss, loss, loss. Like, I'm actually going to go in and count it since it looks like this is where we began our loss streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 losing trades, 1 winner. And notice how that brought our win rate down significantly. Beautiful. Just so beautiful. But yeah, guys, I'm going to pause and then I'll resume here in a little bit. All right.